It's good to be back home. Hey guys, Stitches here, and welcome back to some more Minecraft. Last time we returned from our mineshaft adventure with tons of rare materials and metal, all of which I know will be expended in the near future. We also returned with these minecart rails, which will help us in the near future as well. And this time, I want to start by showing you guys some stuff I did between videos. I did extend our little path here, but I did run out of gravel, so don't be super critical about it, I guess. Oh, there's a zombie under the ground. I was wondering, this guy, like, came over here and was, like, staring at the ground intently. Like he could see a zombie or a mob nearby. Yeah, that's much better space to space it in threes. But, yeah, I started this a little bit. I started smelting stuff, but, yeah, at the end of the video last time I did unfortunately lose the saddle, so at some point off camera I'm gonna go find a dungeon or whatever. But as for today, we have this obsidian, some diamonds here for us, so we're gonna start on one of our next advancements. And no, it is not on a rail. I forgot I need a book. So I have one book here. We'll need 4 obsidian in this upside down T, 2 diamonds here, and a book atop it all to make this enchantment table. And this will get you the achievement Enchanter, despite the fact we haven't actually enchanted anything. So we're a fraud right now. So Enchanter kind of has its own thing. Librarian and Overkill. Overkill requires you to deal 8 hearts of damage in a single hit. Which is possible with enchanting, but there's an easier way to do it later. So first off, I think we should... Do I still have any of the stone brick? No, I don't, because I used all of them. So the enchantment table... By the way, stone bricks, I should mention really quick, are a 1-to-1 recipe. So you put 4 in and you get 4 out. So the enchantment table is a thing that exists. And we have it now. So the enchantment table, if we place it down and walk up to it, we get this grid, and this is much different than anything we've ever seen. But if we were to take a tool and put it in, we can get some interesting glyphs here. In later versions of the game, they just tell you what these enchantments are. This is standard galactic alphabet. So we can enchant stuff here, and I'll enchant, I don't know, our shovel here. Oh, and we got lucky and actually got 2 enchantments on this. So now we can enchant stuff, which uses up our levels that we collect at the bottom of the screen. This is what I recommend having a mob farm for, and you can build one above ground. It's just kind of convoluted. And you can build one without a spawner too, but I think the one with the spawner is honestly the easiest one. He is really trying to get to bro. Is it down here? Some kind of hidden little cave down here. With some more iron for us. Go ahead and take that. So the enchanting system works kind of differently in newer versions, but the way it works here is that you'll see a number, which is the amount of enchanting levels you need. The amount of levels you will need to make a specific enchantment. Well, you're trapped here forever, bud, so I hope you enjoy your cave. I would try to get him out, but he seems content there. So we can enchant stuff now, but there is something else we can do. We can place up to, I believe, 15 enchanting, or 15 bookshelves around our enchanting table here. And they won't make a big difference right now. But now you'll see there's like glyphs flying into it. If I were to put this in here, you can see the enchantment got more expensive. But you're more likely to get better enchantments the bigger the cost you pay. For example, here we have an efficiency 1, unbreaking 1 stone pickaxe. Unbreaking makes it so that there's a chance that when an item would lose durability, it doesn't. And efficiency makes it so that you have a slightly faster mining speed with the items separate from the item's tier. So there's a mining speed bonus involved. And you can enchant a lot. So I think what today's video is mainly going to be is dedicated to the enchanting. Which does mean we will need sugar cane. And books and wood. Sugarcane is in this chest now. Anyways. At this point, to get the librarian enchantment, you do just need to craft a bookshelf. So, or sorry, not enchantment, achievement. You do just need to craft a bookshelf. So if you were curious on how you get that, that's how you do it. So what I'm going to do is build a structure around where I want this to be. And it needs to be at least 3 blocks tall, so that way we can have a little thing. So if I do this, this, and this, we can get 44 of these stone bricks. But yeah, you can see this shovel is actually pretty damn good. Enchanted gear is on a whole other level from just normal tools. I think I have an idea for what I want to do for this build. You can craft stone brick stairs, I believe. Yes, you can. Oh, wait, I don't think that'll work, actually. I'm thinking of a building technique that you can do in newer Minecraft, but I don't think you can do it in older Minecraft because I don't think stairs can be flipped upside down yet. Since I don't think directional blocks are even really a thing, except for stairs. What would be cool is actually if I grab some of that spruce wood. I don't know if we necessarily need a lot going on here. I do need to, like, fix some of this up. So I'm gonna go get some of this spruce wood here, which has a darker color than our oak. And we can use this to texture this building a little differently than we would if we had just used regular oak wood. Also, this is unrelated to the video, or to, like, Minecraft or anything, but I have, like, a weird question that I want you guys to answer in the comments, which is, like, do you consider it weird to put, mustard on a burger? Or, even better, do you consider it weird to put ketchup on a hot dog? I've heard some people say that it is, like, not a good thing to put, mustard or mustard on burgers and ketchup on hot dogs, and that they're like one is for the other. Like, and I think that's a very weird opinion because I like my burgers with mustard. Like, and I think it's pretty common. I think most fast food, like I know at least McDonald's, like their regular cheeseburger comes with mustard on it. It's typically like mustard, I believe it's mustard, ketchup, and a pickle. Like a pickle chip. What am I doing? I need cobblestone. Where's the cobblestone? There it is. There, that's right. Because I need to smelt up some more stone. God damn it. In newer versions of the game, I want to talk about the more nuanced features about enchanting. In newer versions of the game, you can put an enchantment on a book. And books can roll any enchantment that you can put on any tool, which makes them a little harder to get, but it also makes it so you can get, you can enchant more strategically to get specific stuff you want. And that's not a thing in this version, obviously. You know what I do wonder? Do I have 2 stairs? I need to test something. Something you can do with stairs in other versions of the game is this. Nope. Okay, they don't connect yet. Okay, I think I could still do something with it. I just had to check that. But, because of this, like, a common loot item you'll find in the newer versions of the game is an enchanted book with various enchantments on it. Additionally, in this game, you can only... He's getting them down there. In newer versions of the game, like, it's more common to stack enchantments on an item. In this, enchanting is pretty much entirely luck-based. Like, you can change stuff about it, but enchanting is pretty much just luck-based, and it's more just a bonus you can put on. I don't think that it's super necessary in this version of the game. But there are a few enchants that are for various things, and I want to talk about them. So I mentioned efficiency. Efficiency is for mining tools like the shovel, pick, and axe. I believe efficiency goes up to 4, or I believe efficiency can go up to 5. And that's like if you have the maximum 15 bookshelves. So efficiency, you know, is good for that. It increases your mining speed. There's unbreaking, which can be put on any tool that has durability. So Any tool that has a durability stat can be equipped with the Unbreaking enchantment. And since tools are the only things you can enchant, yeah. You can also enchant your armor, actually. So anything with durability can get enchanted with Unbreaking, which has, I mentioned before, has a chance to roll to see if your, has a chance to roll and see if your, when you would lose durability on an item, you don't. So that's what Unbreaking does. It has a chance to make it so you won't lose durability points. There's Sharpness. There's some sword exclusive ones being Sharpness, Smite, and Bane of Arthropods. All of these boost damage, but in different ways. Smite boosts damage against undead mobs like zombies and skeletons. And another creature we haven't seen yet. Bane of Arthropods specifically boosts damage against spiders, cave spiders, and one other creature we haven't met yet and only spawns in a very specific area. And then there's Sharpness, which does bonus damage to everything, but it does less damage than those two. Less bonus damage than those two. In newer Minecraft, Smite is generally considered better than Sharpness, and the thing as well is you can't get multiple of those on the same weapon. They're something called mutually exclusive, which isn't a big thing in this version, but in later versions where you have enchanted books, which allow you to kind of determine what goes on your tool. It is a big deal because you can only pick one. Bane of Arthropods, though, is generally considered the worst one because they don't really add very many bug-based creatures. What else is there? I mentioned those. There's Fire Aspect, another enchantment for a sword. It makes it so things will light on fire if you hit them. It can be good for specifically harvesting animals for food, since you no longer have to cook them in a furnace, saving you resources in the long run. What else? What else? There's Fortune, which is for picks, shovels, and axes. Fortune makes it so you would get on. It works a little differently on all the things. On specifically pickaxes, it makes it so you would get more ores broken by the item. On on axes, it makes it so you would get more watermelons from breaking a watermelon, and that's about it. Since it doesn't give you more wood. There might be some other stuff, but I think that's really the biggest thing with it. I think you can also put fortune on a hoe, but I don't know what that actually does. I think maybe fortune on an axe also might give you more of a specific item that we haven't encountered yet that we won't be seeing until after we get the advancement. You need to go deeper. So enchantments can do a lot of stuff. There's definitely a list of more. It's just hard for me to remember them all off the top of my head, and then also remember which ones are in this version of the game and which ones are in later Minecraft. Because later Minecraft introduces some broken enchantments, like one called Mending, which is pretty much essential for any tool in later Minecraft due to how much they focus on that version of Minecraft focuses on investing in enchanting your tools. That is why I like stepped back to do specifically this version and not a newer version of the game, because the newer versions of the game are like completely different in my opinion with how the progression is. And I don't know, it's just nice to return to this type of era, I guess. So now what I'm gonna do is do this. Is this kind of expensive? Yeah, but is it gonna look cool? Yep. In my opinion, it will. Yep. Yep. So what this does is it will let you do do. So what I'm doing with these stairs is not actually using them like stairs, but I'm using them to kind of create this ridged castle-like texture here. And I wonder what's going on top of these. Maybe torches. I did think about putting redstone torches on top of these to make it look a little different, a little more eerie looking, but I thought kind of redundant. And then we'll need one more batch of stairs. There's a one weird enchantment. I say one weird enchantment. There's a couple weird enchantments. There's a weird enchantment. Aw, man. I just wasted that. There's a weird enchantment called Silk Touch, which you can put on mining tools. Silk Touch makes it so if you were to break a block like glass or ice with it, it will drop, most blocks will drop their block variant. So glass blocks, which normally don't drop anything, now with Silk Touch you can get the glass back. However, this comes at the cost of you would now need to smelt every single ore you get, which means that you wouldn't be getting like rolling drops. You would instead just be getting one per smelt, which is not efficient when it comes to things like getting diamonds. I did not put the juice in here. Let's also get a stack of coal here and top up furnaces. One thing I guess I could show, cactus. Save about 2 cactus. If we throw a piece of cactus into the furnace, it will start to cook. And this cooks cactus not into a edible, delicious cactus steak, which is a real thing. You can, like, cook up cactus like a steak. It makes it cactus green, which is a dye color. I think it's so interesting as well that in older versions of the game like this, that the dyes are called like dandelion yellow and rose red. Oh, yeah, I'm dumb. My bad. These need to be stone bricks first. There is a different type of bricks we can get. There's a block we've seen. I haven't gone out of my way to harvest it, really, though. Which is called, clay. And clay works kind of like snow, where it drops clay balls when you break it. And you can use 4 clay balls to craft a clay block. And then this structure is, the building is almost complete. We just need a door, which won't be that hard to get. Actually, I'll go ahead and craft 2 doors, because I want to go throw a door on the spawner tunnel really quick. So now we can do that. And I also want to get some glass from the house. Just a glass block. And put it here. And this will kind of act as the main light source. Anyways, let's go smack this wooden door onto the spawner after I eat real quick. But you can enchant your tools, and honestly, I recommend enchanting mainly only iron and above. I enchanted this stone tool, so that way I could just kind of show it off. But, like, normally I wouldn't enchant anything lower than an iron tool. There's also a weird stat with tools called enchantability, where Some tools are better for enchanting, and gold tools happen to be good at enchanting. You will get better enchantments on gold tools. So unbreaking kind of helps offset gold tools, but not really. They still have really low durability, but unbreaking can help them last longer, and unbreaking can only go up to 3, though. But yeah, this structure is complete, and I think it looks okay. This part's a little weird, but I honestly don't know what to do with it. Unless I, like, changed this one to be sideways. And then this one would be the other way. I don't know, let's see how that looks, actually. Let's, like, change one side, because we can compare sides. The wrong way. So then we can look this way, and then for this stair, we put it that way. How's that look? I don't know. Maybe it would look better if I flipped that middle stair. Yeah, that definitely looks better to me. Alright, we're changing it to that one. Okay, so flat, 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 flat. Is it just flat, flat, flat? Oh yeah, the middle is also flat. And then these go outer. There we go. I like it. We'll eventually get the ability to spice this up a little more, too. We'll get, like, something that'll work kind of, that we can use kind of like a window. It won't be a window, but it can be kind of like one. Anyways, I guess now what we do is we can just craft some, books for now. Do 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 do. Man, I eat too much fast food. Like, I have a bad habit of like using delivery apps to just like get food a lot, and I think it genuinely is like gonna fucking kill me because I'll like get food and it'll be like every day. Some weeks I'll do fast food. I also need to stop it because I'm trying to like move soon, so I need to save money for that. I honestly will probably have to open a credit card for me to move. I've never had a credit card. Well, actually, that's a lie. I've technically had a credit card twice. But, like, you know, they were credit cards my parents set up for me so that way I could get a good credit score. So, like, I'd use them. Really like this structure. Anyway. I guess one thing I want to point out, while we're talking about it is the, Minecraft Pocket Edition, which is what would go on to be Bedrock. Minecraft Pocket Edition was a mobile port of Minecraft. And it, Pocket Edition would be like the basis for Bedrock Edition and had some interesting changes, one of which was that beds were blue for some reason. And then instead of roses, they had cornflowers. I think they were called blue roses at the time, but later would be renamed to cornflower. It was just a very weird change. The Pocket Edition, honestly, was never really that good. They didn't have the Nether, which is kind of our next main destination. That's why I got these 10 obsidian blocks. High cave sound. The Nether is like the next main destination, but they didn't get it properly. Instead, they got a thing before they could figure out how to get it programmed onto mobile. They made a thing called a Nether reactor core, which would like build a structure around you that would hit you with nether mobs, and it was kind of just like a mini dungeon where you'd fight like waves of creatures. So I'm trying to see if maybe I can find either some more of the what am I trying to say? Some more of the sugarcane, or if I could find a village, which villages can have a structure that spawns where with bookshelves in it, and if you break a bookshelf, it'll always drop 3 books. So if we find that structure, or if we find that village, it can help us. I want to say this is the right way to the village. I can't remember. Should make like a map or something. You can make a map by using paper. You take 8 paper and surround a compass with it, and it will give you a map at the cost of the compass. The map works kind of weird as well. The way the map works is in, like, I don't know if it's the chunk. It's like a certain radius, like chunk by chunk area where you craft it. It starts marking the topography on the map. And when it does this, when it marks this topography, you can see things like the elevation changes and whatnot. But you can also see villages, like if you see the structures. A swamp on the edge of a desert. Who ever heard of such a thing? Hey, sugarcane. I can't tell if that's the ocean ahead or if the world isn't loading in yet. It's hard to tell with this game. Now, I think the swamp trees are just oak trees in this version. Way later down the line, they would introduce a type of swamp called a mangrove swamp. The mangrove swamp will have some neat stuff in it. Neat stuff in my opinion. And I am glad I actually went and grabbed like 10 obsidian, because if I didn't, we would have to go to the nether in a very different way. Which, like, it's still the same method, but like instead of placing blocks down, you have to create obsidian in a certain pattern by actually like placing lava down inside of water. So typically, like, you need to be near a pool of lava to get it to work. Speaking of the Nether, they actually made an update to the Nether in newer versions of the game. So the old, your guys are gonna see the old Nether, and I mean the old Nether, like, because this is still pretty scary update. So there's not gonna be like wither skeletons in the Nether, which are like a 3-block tall skeleton that will attack you with stone swords. And they inflict you with a type of poison called withering, which actually can kill you. I think it also might damage you more frequently, I don't know. The main thing being it can kill you, so it's like you want to keep stuff on you to get rid of it. Or like keep blocks you can duck behind. You can tell I'm so used to new Minecraft because the way I'm swimming, I'm not just swimming across the top, I'm actually like trying to sprint to swim underwater. When they did the update aquatic thing, they added a new type of swimming where you actually like do breaststrokes and stuff. And it's much faster and more swimming-y. More hydrodynamic, I guess. I was gonna say aerodynamic, but I guess it'd be hydrodynamic because you're in the water. Even though it does use controls that I think were previously established for aerodynamics, so... At least as a base. Yeah, I would like to find a village as well, because there's a chance we might find some goodies there. There's a very rare chance for villages to generate with diamonds in them. In a chest, in a specific building. However, this is way before villages were actually, like, cool. They were kind of just neat back in this time. But they weren't really, like, cool in my opinion. That tree is on fire. I'm not preventing shit, Spooky the Bear. I am leaving that alone. I also want to get away from that cave opening since it's getting so close to night. The creatures will wander out to the surface. Here's one thing we could do that we have, now that we have, what am I trying to say? The efficiency shovels, we could get a bunch of sand. We'll want a lot of sand for glass at some point. Jeez. Sand doesn't even have its own breaking sound effect. It was back when it used the gravel sound effect. Which I think is also just the dirt sound, but... yeah, you can see, like, I'm getting through the sand pretty fast. Really do want to live stream on Twitch again. It's just like, it's not really a good time right now. Like, I'm trying to make it so the conditions would be better. I need to, like, get out of here. Okay, all of you get away from him. But yeah, iron armor is pretty, like, good in this version, because honestly, I find that enemies don't, like, do a whole lot of damage to you with iron armor. You also have the ability to just reduce damage with a sword by doing this. Like, I don't know if I've ever really talked about this. It, like, reduces your damage that you would take pretty far, so, like, most of the time you're only taking 1 damage as long as you're blocking. There'd be a better version of blocking, later in newer versions of Minecraft, which you can't do with a sword, but instead they add, an offhand so you can do shield. We love the shield. The shield's honestly like the first thing I make with iron because it's just like, sure, it's not like a passive boost to your armor or anything, but you can block all damage with it. Like, I kid you not, it can block 100% of damage. Got a little extra sand. I think I got that from the creeper explosion. Careful when you jump into water, by the way. I find that in this version, what exactly counts as like 1 block deep of water isn't consistent. So I think like some 1 block deep water will save you from fall damage and some of it won't, but generally speaking, you don't take damage if you fall into bodies of water. So it's generally good to aim for water if you're gonna fall. Okay, maybe I don't walk on the edge like that. I don't like it. I don't actually know if that's reducing the damage from explosions or not. Explosions are a little weird. I know the armor is doing a lot of the heavy lifting, too. Some more sugarcane. We just found some bookshelves that would be cool. What I mean by found them is, like, if we could steal them from the village. That sugarcane, like, generated through the tree. What was that? I still think it's funny that when I did the, like, giant mushroom thing in the other video, I found it kind of funny that, like, the giant mushroom was so, like, so picky. It didn't want to, like, generate. Ooh. It is funny to watch enemies get hit in the older version of the game, because you do so much more knockback in this version of the game, I feel like. Hmm. We're going. Jeez, this video is an hour. Anyways, I guess I'll end it here and I'll just kind of like look around. By the way, if a creeper explodes in the water, it doesn't destroy blocks because water dampens explosions. I think that's a neat little feature. I don't know if it was necessarily intentional, but it was something they added regardless, and I think it's a neat little aspect of the game. So anyways, thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, be sure to hit the like button. You should also subscribe. Hit the bell icon to get notifications. Additionally, you should check out the links in the description. There's links to my social media pages on Blue Sky and Twitter. There's links to my Twitch page where I live stream, and there's a link to my Ko-Fi page where for $3 a month you can become a monthly member and get access to content early. And yeah, we'll see you guys in the next one then. Right after I get this sugarcane. Oh, it like kind of got destroyed a little bit because of the ice. It's crazy.